See Red Nation, what is good? Tonight will be the 20th game of the season for the Chicago Bulls. By the way, we will be live for that game as well. Me, possibly Pete Kidd in the live as well. Make sure you hop in there at 7 p.m. tonight. We'll be live calling the game for you. Watch the game with us. Listen to it so that you can hear what's going on with the Bulls. Whatever you need us for, that's what we're here for, man. But I want to evaluate this team. I want to evaluate this team, where they're at this 20-game mark, where the players are. We did it before the season. Now we're 20 games in. Let's do it here. Evaluating my opinion on where I think they can get better at, where I think that they're already really good at, and of course, hearing from you guys as well in the comments below. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports weekly, and we don't want you to miss a thing. So make sure that you hit that bell so you can get notified on things like when we go live, when we're going to drop a video, things like that. Now, some of these guys on the team, I'm not going to delve too deep into just because they really don't play that often, or maybe they were hurt and haven't really had the opportunity to get back out there, get back into the rotation. So I'm going to skip over a few of these guys just to keep it short, but some honorable mentions. Sato is one of those guys who he's kind of gotten back, but we haven't seen him get the groove back. We've seen him play a little bit better, but he still seems to be feeling the effects of COVID-19. But I think that Sato is going to be a key piece for the Bulls. Another guy for me. Hold on. Now hear me out on this. Normally I diss this mug, but I can't diss him. I can't diss him because every time he's gotten into the game, he's been productive. But honorable mention to Cristiano Felicio, because even though he has not played much this season, when he has gotten into the game, he has contributed to certain plays on the court. He's been more useful than not useful this season in the few minutes he has gotten on the court, so I had to drop that in here. But let's get into the players that matter. Let's start it off with Coby White. If I had to grade Coby White right now, I would probably say a C, because you think about it. While Coby White has had games where he's been great, where Coby White has had games when he's been terrible, he hasn't been consistent yet. And the thing is, I really think that it's a lot due to we're asking him to play out of position. We're asking him to play at a spot that it just doesn't fit his game. He seems like he's more of a pure scorer. And right now we're asking him to be a point guard, be the leader on this team, the facilitator. I just don't think that that's Coby White. Now, does that mean he can't turn into it? No, but 20 games into the season, we haven't seen him do well with making the right decision. We haven't seen him do well with distributing the ball to his teammates, finding that open pass, finding that teammate in stride to make a play, or just setting up the offense in general. But the thing I will say for him is it seems to be his focus. When he's focused on getting a bucket, it seems like he can get a bucket. When he's going in the game and he's focusing on, just the team, trying to set the rest of the team up, it seems like that's when he struggles at his most. And so I think while I'm giving Coby White a C, C+C, because of, I think when we've seen him be so active scoring wise, he's been very good. When we've seen him, hey, Coby, go out there and get a bucket, he's been very good for the Bulls. But those moments have been too far in between this season for the Bulls. And so I have to give him the lower grade, but I also got to place a little bit of the blame on the position that we're putting him in. I would rather see him as a scorer. Heck, honestly, possibly a sixth man if you had that legit point guard. But as of right now, it doesn't seem like we have that guy on the roster, so we're probably going to keep riding it out with Coby anyway. So let's see if he can improve on that. Let's hope that grade goes up. Number 2, Zach LaVine, the shooting guard, your leader of this team. Listen, I don't know if he can do anything more than what he's doing to make this team better. I mean, Zach is phenomenal. I got to go with I'm going to say an A- grade, and hear me out on this. I'm going with an A- on Zach, and hear me out why. Zach's scoring is up. Zach's rebounding is up. Zach is playing phenomenal. He's a top 5 scorer in the NBA. He's one of the best shooting guards in the NBA right now. That's all you can ask for from your 2-guard position. The only reason I'm saying an A- is because Zach's decision making has been a little bit iffy at times. And when you think about it, I believe Zach is averaging almost about 6 assists a game. And he's averaging a little over 4 turnovers a game. And that's when it kind of comes in I would love to give you an A+, because I think Zach is a phenomenal talent offensively. I think that even Zach's defensive game has improved drastically. I think he still gets lost a little bit off ball sometimes, but for the most part, Zach as a defender has been one of those guys who I want the challenge. I'm going to step up on the challenge. Your best players coming at me, I'm taking on that challenge. I love to see that. We're seeing a ton of improvement out of Zach LaVine, and so A- just because of the decision making, and I would love to see him improve on that, because it seems like the turnovers, while they sometimes come in bunches, it seems like they come at the worst times in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like a turnover that leads to that first Dame Lillard 3 that gets them within 5 or within 2. You know, like it's stuff like that. But I mean, listen, we're 20 games into the season, and we're talking about this guy as a top 5 scorer. The people that are talking about, we need to get rid of Zach and trade Zach, y'all are smoking something wild. Y'all got to put the shrooms down. Next up, Pat Will. If I'm a grade the rookie right now, I'm going to give him a solid B. And it's also situational. I'm going to give him a solid B because the rookie is coming in with nothing. He's coming in with no training camp. He's coming in with no precursor to NBA action. And he's come in, and in those games, being inserted directly into the starting lineup, he's been asked to guard LeBron, Giannis, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I mean, he has been, as a defensive anchor, he's definitely been a breath of fresh air to see on the floor. Now, is he stopping these guys? No, but to me, the fact that we're seeing him in the right position, I mean, the game against Giannis or Brown, a lot of those was just like, he's not strong enough to slow these guys down. Like, he's in the right spot. I see him, he's in the right, but as soon as he gets bumped, he goes flying out the way. He's just not big enough yet. Give him some time. The rookie's going to turn into a premier defender in this NBA. And then when you look at his shot selection, I think that's where the B comes in. He has to get more aggressive offensively. I think that's more so he's just not used to doing that in his career. And there was nothing that leading up into the season that was able to change that mindset up for him. But if he can become a offensive minded kind of guy, a guy who's like, no, I'm going to be the number one on this team. I'm coming in to score. I'm looking to score, especially how many times have we seen him get wide open looks and he just doesn't take them? You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. And I think that he'll be able to improve upon that as well. He's shooting at 46% from the field. He's shooting at 40% from 3, averaging about 10 points a game. His shot selection is impeccable. I think that's just going to continue to improve as he keeps going along. Next up for me, Lauri Markkanen. I've been real up and down on Lauri this season. I'm not going to lie to you. Not just because of a couple of bad games that he had, but more so just the mindset that he has kind of placed on the court. I mean, now if I'm going to look at Lauri's game, look at his numbers, I have to say Lauri's been very good. I'm going to give him a B+. The thing about Lauri that still kind of is iffy to me, that's still kind of is just all mental. We know he can score. We know that he can shoot the 3 with some of the best of them. Right now in his 12 games played, he's shooting at 51% from the field, 41% from 3. I can't dismiss those numbers. The only thing for me is Lauri going to continue to be aggressive like we've seen in these last couple of games? When Lauri Markkanen is aggressive, Lauri Markkanen is one of the best power forwards in the NBA. It's not even a question. The problem is we haven't seen him be aggressive enough. I need that aggressiveness to continue to skyrocket, continue to go up, because what we saw versus the Knicks is not the same Lauri Markkanen that we saw versus AD. It's not the same Lauri Markkanen that we saw versus Thomas Bryant in Washington. It's not, and Muggs might say, well, if there's a better player on the other side, then his production is going to go down because he's worried about defending him. Listen. You're going to play great players in this league. I need you, if you're going to take this guy into the playoffs, if you're going to pay him a good money to be a part of your core at the end of this season, then you want him to be able to come out and be aggressive night in and night out, whether he's playing against AD or whether he's playing against Kevin Knox or Julius Randle, whoever it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's really just the mindset for me with Lowry. What can I say about his game? He's shooting well. He's playing well. He's moving well. Since coming back off of the COVID protocol, he's been productive for the Chicago Bulls, except in the few games that he played against somebody who was standing on the other side and able to dominate him. And so I just want to see him being, I mean, in that last game when Julius Randle's trying to back him down, Lowry's taking it. He's like, yo, you're not moving. You're not moving. And even if you are moving me, I'm still going to be here. I'm going to alter your shot. I'm going to affect what you're trying to do. When he's aggressive, he is legitimately one of the best power forwards in the NBA, bar none. But can he continue to be aggressive? Is that a personality that he will exude in his game? Let's see. 20 games in, I'm going to stick with the letter grade that I've given him. But I think that Lowry absolutely can grow from that. And I think that he's a player that hopefully continues that aggressiveness and will be able to become a part of the Bulls core moving forward. Now, before I continue with the video, I want to know you guys' grades on these young Bulls. You know what I'm saying? I want to know how you guys feel about this. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well, and we can talk about, you know, where you guys kind of place the players. Now, Wendell has been out, another injury. We saw a good chunk of Wendell coming into this, but you know what I'm saying? I don't want to grade him too early. Right now, if I was going to give him one, I would say C+. You know, he's a guy right now. He's a guy. And I think that is the problem. Now, based on interior defense, a lot of people are saying that the Bulls miss his production that he was able to give them. But defensively, teams are still putting up the same kind of numbers they were when he was here, you know, inside the paint. And so do we miss him? Like I said, he's a body. He's nice. He's 7'6". He's 7 foot tall. Everybody wants to say, oh, well, you got to wait. You got to allow him to blossom. I'm fine with that. But we're not seeing many differences with him in there than we are with him out of there. Like, maybe the paint's a little bit more open, but it's not much. It's not like we were slowing teams down in the paint while he was in there. So to me, Wendell's just a guy. I would like to see kind of that same thing I said with Lowry, the aggressiveness come out of him, especially on the defensive end, where no, I'm not going to let you do what you want to do on me. I'm not going to let you push me around. I'm not going to let you body me up. Now, even when I see DG going up for a block or something like that, like DG be getting dunked on. Let's be honest. DG sometimes be getting dunked on, but he's aggressive enough to be like, no, I'm the rim protector. Let me protect the rim. Now, DG, you got to get out of there for some of them, but I'll talk about that when we get to you. But right now, Wendell, he's just a guy. And so, but I don't want to, that's not a solidified grade for me because, again, he's injured yet again. And he's going to be out for about 4 weeks. So we'll see what happens with that. You know, it kind of comes down to that. Now let's get into this bench. Thaddeus Young. Let me tell you, the Thaddeus Young that is here right now was the Thaddeus Young that was in Indiana, 2 seasons ago? And this is the guy. This is the guy that we all believed we were getting until he got under Boylan. This is the guy that is able to come out and affect so many different positions on the game. You want to talk about a Chicago Bull? Thaddeus Young is a Chicago Bull. Thaddeus Young is a guy that can come out. He's looking to get the open pass. He's throwing good passes. He's defensively, he'll pick up whoever you need him to pick up. He's out here fighting. He's trying to make plays out here. I think early on in the season, like, nobody was kind of in the groove yet, and so it was also trying to figure out Billy's system as well. And so I was looking at Thad like, yo, Thad, you are the vet. You got to be better in these. What is going on? I thought we were going to get, this is the Thaddeus Young I thought we were getting. What we're seeing from him right now is a guy who is not only just teaching these young Chicago Bulls how to be better players, how to win, how to be in late game situations, but he's also affecting the game on so many different levels. And I love that. I love what we've we've seen from Thaddeus Young, if I was going to give him a grade, I would probably say somewhere around I would say a B right now, just because it seemed like it took him a minute to get here, but that is a grade that game by game is going in the right direction. And he's the perfect guy to come off of the bench, right? Right now, averaging 10, 5, and 4 on 56% shooting. Crazy numbers, especially lately. And the scoring totals have gone up more and more the further along the Bulls have gotten, the better the Bulls have gotten. And you see a little bit of age on Thad Young. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's some games where he looks all of 32. You know what I'm saying? But there's some games where when he's called upon to be that defensive anchor on the other side, he is clamping you up. And I think that Thad Young is going to be the biggest help to Pat Will in becoming the defensive player that he's going to need to be. And so I'm going with a B for Thad Young right now. B, and like I said, mostly because of the slower start we saw him get off to, but that grade's going up every single game with the contribution that he's given the Chicago Bulls. Garrett Temple, Temple of Doom. When I tell you, and y'all may say I'm going out on a limb, I'm just C-Red Nation, I'm going too far into this, but with the young team we have, based on the position that he's being put in, I would say that Garrett Temple has been the best free agent signing in the NBA. For the production that he's given us, for the boom for your buck that you're getting for Garrett Temple, I would say that Garrett Temple has been the best free agent signing in the NBA this season. Now, does that mean that we're going to a championship? No. I'm just saying, based on where we are and the production he's given us, I mean, what he's done for the Bulls has been crazy. When you've needed a big three, Garrett Temple has been there. When you've needed a big steal, Garrett Temple has been there. When you need him to guard the number one guy on your team, Garrett Temple has been there. Gets a little bit lost on the screen sometimes. And if it's a good screen, he's out of the play. But, I mean, what are we talking about with Garrett Temple here? We're looking at a 34-year-old guy who's out there clamping up these young guys on a night-in, night-out basis, giving you another 10 points off of the bench, being able to come in and step into that one spot, the 3 spot, wherever you need him to play. The Bulls have a lot of those guys on the bench, and that's what makes this bench so dangerous, because it does go very deep. And I love to see the contribution that Garrett Temple has given us. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm giving Garrett Temple a A- for the play that we've seen from him this season. I don't think we've seen a game where Garrett Temple has played poorly. I don't think that we've seen a game where Garrett Temple has not been able to step up and answer the call. Now, there's been some games where it's just physically not possible for him to keep up with the guy in front of him. Like, I think when they had him guarding Steph off of those screens, like, if you guys watched TNT last night, D-Wade was saying, if you've got any kind of frame that's not super slender, you're not going to be able to follow this guy around. It's one of those, like, against those players, okay, the guy's getting his buckets a little bit. But for the most part, Garrett Temple has really been able to come out and give the Bulls an A-type effort, and I got to give him his props for that, man. I got to give him his props. Next up, my man, Daniel Gafford. Now, y'all know I'm a Gafford fan. Y'all know he's a guy that I think can continue to grow. Gafford has been asked to do everything for the Chicago Bulls. And when when his name has been called, for the most part, he's answered. I think in this starting role, he's had to work his way into it. You know what I'm saying? And there's been some tough moments where Billy's only playing him 10 minutes of the game, or other games he's playing 25 minutes, or other games he's playing. You know what? It's kind of weird how Billy's running him out there. I guess it's kind of situational. But Daniel Gafford has come out, play in and play out, and he has done pretty much an excellent job with whatever challenge Billy has thrown in front of him. And when he gets into those games, and has an extended time to play, has more than 5 minutes, or even sometimes when it is only 5 minutes, he's efficient offensively. Now, is he going to go out there and give you 50? Probably not. He's not that kind of guy right now. Maybe he can grow into being a force like that. I don't see that in his future, but maybe he can grow into being a force like that. I hope so. I'd love to see it. But when I look at Daniel Gafford coming out, it's always productive. If he's playing 10 minutes or 28 minutes, he's out there with 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals, and you're like, wait a minute, he's been out there 2 minutes. Like, what? How'd he get all of that? He is a fish, and he comes in, he brings a spark to this Bulls team, a spark that I think this Bulls team absolutely needs, and I love the production from him. Did I give him a letter grade? I don't think I gave him a letter grade. Solid B+ for Daniel Gafford. Solid B+ for Daniel Gafford. Just because Billy has put him in a lot of weird situations, and for the most part, he's never complained. He's never been unable to answer the call. He's always gone out there and been productive. For that reason, I'm gonna go with a B+ for Daniel Gafford. Otto Porter Jr. Otto Porter has really brought his name back. He's really bringing his value back. He's really brought his name back. He has been a key contributor to what the Chicago Bulls have tried to do this season. 11 points a game. Here's the number that really stood out for me with him. 6 rebounds a game, really being able to fight. And listen, a lot of those offensive boards. He's really been able to get down there and scrap in the offensive paint. Also on the defensive end, he's been able to be a key contributor to our rebounders, which is something that the Bulls, I think, are going to need to improve on slightly. Just from your center positions, DG's kind of been your biggest focal point as a rebounder down there. Lowry kind of gets pushed out a little bit on the boards, but I think that'll start to come back to him as well. And then not having Wendell down there, one thing that I can say about Wendell was able to go down there and snatch boards. He was able to go down there and snatch boards. And so I do love the production that Otto Porter's been able to give us off of the bench. I think the Bulls have one of the deepest benches in the league, barring like the Lakers or maybe the Clippers. You know what? Some of those championship squad, really the Lakers. But I mean, the Bulls are right up there with depth on the bench. And that says something about your team. It says something about your team. And I think that Otto Porter is a key part of that bench mob. And the fact that there's so many veterans coming off of your bench really solidifies your team as well. If I were to give Otto Porter a grade, I'm probably looking at another B player. Not somebody that is, we've seen him in games where he's had 25, 30, but it's probably night in, night out, not somebody that's going to do that, but he's going to do all the little things. He's going to do all the intangibles that you need the team to do, or that you need a player on this team to do. He's going to do whatever's being asked of him, and I love that. And finally, we get to the man, the myth, the legend, Denzel Valentine. Weird to end off a video on Denzel Valentine, ain't it? But it's not going to take me long because Denzel is a guy. Now, Denzel can go out there. I'm going to say this about Denzel, and I've said this on the show. And if you watch the show regularly, you know. I'm going to say this about Denzel. If Denzel Valentine were to focus solely on facilitating, Denzel Valentine right now would probably end up being our starting point guard. And y'all looking at me crazy, right? But if you look at just Denzel facilitating the ball, finding guys open, he's actually pretty good at it. Now everybody's gonna run to his assists per game and be like, yo, what are you talking about? He's only averaging 1.7 assists a game. You know why? Because whenever the ball touches Denzel's hands, he's chucking that thing up. He's pulling up like he's Zach. Like legitimately, whenever the ball touches his hands, he is flinging that thing up. But I've seen Denzel more times than not find a guy cutting to the basket, nice little dime, nice little dot right in the hands, right in the pocket where it needs to be. I mean, Denzel as a facilitator is actually really good, but he wants to chuck that thing up. Come on, Denzel. You're not Ray Allen, Denzel. You're not Ray Allen. You're not Reggie Miller. Focus on facilitating because that's what the Bulls need right now, especially off the bench. But with all that being said, you guys have heard my grades for this team. Let me know your grades in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. A couple guys I just didn't touch on. Ryan Arcidiacono, a guy, okay. He does come in off the bench, but not really. He's kind of fallen out of rotation as of late a little bit. So, I mean, give Archie a seat. You know what I'm saying? But I want to know how you guys feel. Let me know your grades in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. I'm going to get up out of here. It is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again to continue watching our Chicago Bulls content. Click the link here or check the links in the description below. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Peace.